That comprehensive update from the Supreme Court of Kenya, where the Supreme Court Registry there is filing petitions challenging the election of President Uhuru Kenyatta on October 26th. And before we cross over to Liberia, because that is another country where the Supreme Court there is under very sharp focus, let me get some quick reaction from our panel tonight that is composed of Daisy as well as Zahid Rajan. Daisy, quickly, your reaction to that, because it seems the country has found itself is some sort of a deja vu moment, compared to what happened right after the August 8th election?
Well, I think it is very telling. After the Supreme Court ruling and the 60-day period that they were given, we went into the 26th election with very many unanswered questions. And those questions must be put to the court so that we can have definitive answers moving forward, so that it also enriches our electoral cycle. There were many, the abandonment of the race by the Right Honorable Raila Odinga raises serious questions that were not substantively argued or even addressed. We know that there were cases that were coming up even in the run-up to the elections that never got an opportunity for hearing. Therefore, those are questions that must be answered. The conduct of IBC, so much confusion, candidates being excluded, then included last minute, and there still are very many unanswered questions that must be answered. So I think that this is the right procedure, because the courts at least have the responsibility of definitively interpreting the law for us. So I think it's a good course of action, and we look forward to how to hearing how the cases will be argued, and trust that the Supreme Court will rise to the occasion once again and give guidance to the country.
Well said, Daisy. And of course, we have 2 more hours. We might get some more petitions. The question is from who? Rajan, very quickly, what are you reading in these? Because according to Daisy, there's some, unanswered questions. Are we seeing some sort of an inbuilt problem in the electoral body?
Well, I think in terms of a deja vu, I would hope that what happened after the ruling in August will not happen again. We once again taken, we're using the highest court in the land to settle an election petition. The various petitions have been held, and I must say that the reactions after the last petition were most unfortunate, and in the sense that it took the country by surprise that here we had a great process in terms of bringing democracy to the fore, in making the Supreme Court, the highest court of the land, rule the way it did. And I think Kenyans in general were overjoyed that we had, that the Supreme Court took its rightful place in the sun. However, what happened after that, I think, was extremely unfortunate. And I would hope that this time, that whatever the outcome, the parties will obey the rule of law and take the ruling of the court as it should be done in a democratic framework such as Kenya, and that we can then carry on in terms of organizing our lives as Kenyans.
Of course, it's going to be a very interesting few days to come. I'm going to engage both Daisy and Rajan in detail within this program. I'm sure you don't want to miss that discussion tonight. We're also going to definitely talk about the civil society.